Well, this is new. Um, I actually don't know how this is gonna go. Look, I feel like I've done all I can with it. Um, but there's no episode today, it's for me to complain about over on YouTube. So I thought, hey, let's do this. This might be fun. Let's talk about just some general news within the franchise that's happening. It is the 1 year anniversary of the card game. Uh, I don't know where that time went. It certainly does not feel like that this card game only came out a year ago. Um, that's crazy to me to think of. And maybe it's because I got in on it late. At first, I wasn't really down on the idea, but then when it didn't look like an English release was happening, I was like, we'll get a few bits in. And just as collector's pieces. And then an English version was announced, and then the pandemic happened. So the English version is really tough to come by. It's almost as hard to get a box of English cards as it is to get a PS5 right now, which is, phew, geez. If only from a hobby collecting point of view, this pandemic can, I'm so over it and I'm ready for it to be done. But hello, you, and welcome to our first live edition of the Code Crown podcast. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be a bit different than what we're used to. Let me just get rid of the thingy here. So there was no episode of the show, and as I mentioned at the top, I wanted to do something different. And there's been quite a few bits that have come out, and normally I would talk about the upcoming episode synopses during one of the reviews, and that just obviously with no episode to talk about, I didn't want the information to be, didn't want to be late to the party or whatever on it. So I figured, why not? Why don't we just talk about it now? Episodes 41, 42, and 43. Um, it's a whole lot of more filler. I'm going to be honest, like these are going to be filler episodes, and I'm hoping they're good. But as I mentioned in the reviews, doing filler episodes this far out in advance of doing sorry, not far in advance, but doing filler episodes this far into the show's lifespan, I think is a bad move. Like I'm not a fan of that at all. Um, because these really do seem to be like the character growth episodes we've been asking for earlier on in the show when they weren't doing 6 or 7 um separation arcs, and giving the fan base separation anxiety over it. So I'm I'm not really a fan of the filler being this far out, like episodes 40, 41, and 42. Appmon had this problem as well, and I called it out then. Um, it's only as much as I love Appmon, that is something about it that I didn't like. That like 40 episodes into the show, we were still doing filler arcs. Um, so it's only right that I call it out here as well. But And then we had key art come out thanks to the Vital Bracelet. Now I'm still waiting on mine. Nippon Yasan just haven't moved on mine at all. Like they still have the release date down as the 31st of March rather than the 13th, and mine is still at, it's paid, but there's been no move to say, preparing for shipping or anything. So I'm not sure when I'm getting mine, to be honest. And then seeing some of the photos of it coming out, I actually hope it fits. The wrist strap is not not the most convenient, we'll say, from images I've seen so far. But look, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And Premium Bandai do seem to be doing extended straps, but I'm sure fans will end up printing their own, and they'll be much cheaper. So, um, Yeah, because I mean, I bought the green one. All right, I wanted the one of Pulsemon's color, and to swap it out for an extended black strap, I'm just like, it defeats the purpose of getting the green one if you're just going to make me get a black strap. So hopefully they'll release an extended green one as well. But if not, I have faith in the community. Someone will end up 3D printing a bunch of them, and I'm like, so if we do have any fitting issues, hey, Alpha Wolf Skull, thanks for joining in. So if we do have any fitting issues with the vital bracelet strap, I fully expect that the fandom will accommodate for that. So, but some good vital bracelet news in terms of evolution lines being confirmed, thanks to like a pamphlet that's coming with it. I'll be able to confirm these for myself once my own arrives, but for the moment, we're sort of just going off the community and what they've shared so far. But before we get into the vital bracelet stuff, let's touch on the upcoming episode synopses, because I mean that's going to be the crux of this, and a few people have asked for another tier list, so we might do that toward the end of all this. But a good couple of news articles in respect of all that, and where necessary, we'll show off the imagery and whatever. But we have episode 40 of Adventure 2020. Strike the Killer Shot. So that's the episode that didn't air this week. That'll be airing next week because the show is on hiatus this week. And the synopsis is a jungle flying in the sky with fruit falling from it suddenly appears before the kids. Taichi, Agumon, Sora, and Piyomon head to the aerial jungle so they can bring back fruits for everyone to eat. But the Digimon who reside there, Pomumon, were changed into fruits by invading Tropiumon and its subordinates, so that they would one day be eaten. In anger, Sora and Taichi rescue the Pomumon and face Tropiumon to take back the aerial jungle. However, Taichi and Metal Greymon are turned into fruits, and to save them, Sora and Garudamon challenge Tropiumon to battle. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, like this is as filler as you get, right? This is like how many shows do this where the characters are baked into a pizza? Well, that was Power Rangers, wasn't it? Yeah, baked into a pizza or turned into some sort of condiment or, transformed into something. Like this is as filler as you get. Like this is obviously going to be the episode where we see Hoomon's energy silhouette surround Garudamon, so that capability to get to mega level has finally been unlocked. But geez, like this just sounds dumb. And again, like this is an episode that should have happened way back at the start of the show, um, when they were barreling through getting everybody through their champion and ultimate forms. This is the episode that they should have just. This is this is something that could have worked around then. Um, this is a I don't want to say character developing episode because I don't know how much character development Sora can get from her comrades being turned into fruit. But one thing I am seeing from these previews is it does look like the kids are breaking up again, and I don't like that at all because we've had three separation arcs already. Um, so I'm not liking the idea that we've just put these kids back together for two episodes and now we're breaking them up again. Um, the episode preview, the for the showing the animation does seem to show like that they're Taichi and Sora playing soccer with coconuts or something, or kicking coconuts toward Tropiumon. I I don't know how to feel about any of it. I we're episode 40 in out of 66. This is probably not the best time to be doing an episode like this. Then we move on to episode 41, Mon Mon Park in Mist. The brothers, Yamato Ishida and Takaru Takeishi, Go in search of food and wander. Go in search of food and wander into a thick fog, where they find Mon Mon Park, a Digimon-only amusement park. Now, to be fair, this has been done before, so the amusement park, I've no problem with, but you can already see they're broken away from the others. So Taichi and Sora are doing the aerial battle. Yamato and Takaru are in the amusement park. So like, what are Joe and Mimi, Koshiro and Hikari doing at this point? But anyway, Opossumon. Okay, good to see that again. We haven't seen that since Cross Wars. The gate greeter is sad that no guests are coming, so Yamato and Takaru decide to play there for a bit to cheer it up. However, it was all a big setup by Opossumon. Yamato and Takaru get separated, each of them entering a battle with an enemy waiting for them. Will the two be able to safely escape Mon Mon Park? So again, like it's as filler as filler gets. The amusement park of death. There's probably going to be some craziness with magic mirrors and reflections and all that. But again, something that could have been done in the opening episodes. Um, the structure of this show continues to not be great. Because they were in such a hurry to get through all the evolutions in the first 20 odd episodes that these kind of episodes to set up character traits and quirks and stuff were were nowhere to be seen. So it does hurt the pacing. Like, we should be heading toward Faga and getting closer to Millenniumon, but instead we're getting turned into fruit and battling in an amusement park. I'm not real like I won't know if the episode's any good, obviously, until it airs, but the synopsis is not great. I'm not a fan of just I'm not a fan of what's on paper at the moment. Maybe it'll be better in practice, but I'm not sure I have a whole lot of faith in that, to be fair. Um, and then episode 42, The King of Inventors, Garbamon. Oh, fun. Taichi, Agumon, Koshiro, and Tentomon. Oh, okay, so they do reunite for a bit. Still no word on what Mimi and Joe or Hikari is doing at this point, but sure. Um, Taichi, Agumon, Koshiro, and Tentomon ride on Commandomon to scout the nearby area, but are shocked when they come across a massive landfill. Digital world garbage. I mean, makes sense. I mean, when you empty your recycle bin, where does that stuff go? uh, they're further shocked to meet the Garbamon, Chumon, and Raremon there. Oh god, Raremon. Raremon is a monster that eats everything, and Garbamon is a scientist studying black energy and has lost many of its subordinate Chumon to Raremon. In revenge, he developed a special bazooka to deal with the Raremon. However, when it came to battle, the bazooka was useless and Raremon absorbed the black energy filled there. It evolves into the perfect level Super Raremon and attacks. Within that crisis, Koshiro comes up with a plan. Okay, I swear to God, this better not be the episode that we get Heracles Kabuterimon in. Like, Koshiro coming up with a plan is fine, but if this ends up being the episode that Heracles Kabuterimon turns up in, I'm going to be very upset. Um, I don't see, I don't see Metal Garurumon turning up in the amusement park episode, so I very much doubt we're going to get Heracles Kabuterimon at that point. But at least Raremon's getting an evolution. I don't think that's happened since it's debuted. I don't think we've seen. I think Super Raremon is new. That name does not ring a bell, but then again, Raremon isn't exactly isn't exactly something I care all that much about. So, um, hey Meg, thanks for joining in. So I'm not like God, like it just these these three episodes do not fill me with a whole lot of confidence. They really don't. They don't feel me. They don't fill me with a lot of confidence. I'm not. Um, yeah, I'm kind of disheartened. Like we're getting characters turned into food. Yeah, no, that's fine, Meg. We're about done with the episode stuff anyway. So I've just done like the previews only go up to 42, so we've only covered the next 3 weeks. So don't worry, and we're done with that now, basically. But we've an episode where characters are turned into food. We've a battle in an amusement park, and my mental image of Super Raremon is just Raremon who has touched a Mario superstar. So he's going to be running around this landfill all do 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 rah. And God, it's probably going to be that stupid. Like it probably will just be a gold Raremon or something. I I can't say I have much faith in it, to be honest. I can't say I have much faith in it. And that seems to be ever since this filler arc started, that seems to be my general consensus on things. When they stopped focusing on the plot and decided to do these side episodes, it's just been uh, at least if these were at the top of the show rather than the back end of it, you could say, well, it's just the filler arc. We got to get through this. The characters got to grow and develop, and you could probably work some champion or even ultimate evolutions into the mix through all of this, and then save the mega evolutions for later on. Like the episode where we got Garudamon. I mean, that would have worked just as well for getting Hoomon. You know, but I'm really not looking forward to the kids getting turned into fruits or you know the Opossumon being, oh, nobody's visiting my amusement park. Mwahaha, it was a trap. I have you now, Digidestined. Um, yeah, it's just just no, it's nah, nah. I don't like it. I don't like it. But look, I mean, who knows? As I said, look, I won't know what's happening until the episodes air. They could be great, and I could end up eating my words. I could end up looking back and going, huh, okay, maybe not judge a book by its cover, but I'm not sure I have enough faith in the show to do that. I mean, this is the same show that last week gave us a potato monster who gets upset that nobody likes potatoes and turns into a bigger potato monster and attacks everybody with potatoes that explode. So I'm not really sure I have faith that these episodes are going to be any better. I could call it a hunch. I would put good money on it. That this isn't that these episodes aren't going to be magnificent masterpieces that we'll remember 10 years from now. Um, and if we do remember them, it'll probably be for the wrong reasons. So, boy. Right. So, yeah, like a decent selection of Digimon in the descriptions. Seeing Mon is fun. Because um, Pomumon, Tropiumon, seeing Chumon again will be fun. Garbamon, like the selection of Digimon that we'll be seeing is very diverse. Like Opossumon we haven't seen since Cross Wars, so it'll be fun to see a different take on that. And I do love the continued Cross Wars love that this show is getting, so I'm definitely okay with that. I doubt Opossumon is going to turn into Chohakaimon, but hey, if they did, like that's a bonus point because it'll just be so random. But yeah, okay. So I think we're about ready to move on from the episode descriptions. Yeah. So let's do just that. What else have we got? So um, some new art of Omega Shoutmon and Tactimon was released for the 10th anniversary of the Tohoku earthquake a few days ago. Digimon Web put up some social media art of Omega Shoutmon and Tactimon along with this message. Omega Shoutmon and Tactimon, they had their battle, but today we're going to have a relaxing and heartwarming day. And yeah, like Cross Wars was indeed, 10 years ago. It was around this time. Um, so I'll bring the image up on screen here and show you guys. Let me just get the display view up. I'll just where is my display view? We'll just drag that to the top. Yeah. So like it's a lovely bit of artwork. I love like the sakura petals and everything. It's really good. Um, and the Omega Shoutmon versus Tactimon battle in the show was quite fun because it was the first time Cross Wars had, you know, touched on proper Digivolution as we know it. Um, Having gone from the cross evolution function into what it then dubbed super evolution, or which um, fans would know as going from champion to ultimate or from adult to perfect in the original series. So it's it's quite the nice piece of artwork, and it does give that feeling of that relaxing afternoon they're talking the social media people were talking about. Um, so yeah, Cross Wars was running at the time, and of course all of this thanks to With the Will. Um, you know, always be sure to give With the Will, a look or a lurk, or even join in on the forums. They've some really good people in there. So yeah, Cross Wars was running at the time, and the Omega Shoutmon Tactimon battle aired just prior to the quake. So, like, it is relevant that they put this artwork up 10 years later. And in my mind, I'm just like, 10 years. Oh God, like, where did that go? It does not feel like I watched that show 10 years ago. It genuinely doesn't. Um, Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, no problem, Meg. Um, So next up is a reference book update. Bergamon, Podamon, and Torikara Ballmon. God, he's just a little chicken nugget, isn't he? He's just a little chicken nugget. Oh, he's adorable. Um, but yeah, so there's Burgermon from the previous episode. There's our French fry potato mon looking monster. I tagged all the Digimon hashtags. I mean, he didn't have to, but I appreciate that. So he does. He looks like a little chicken nugget. So we'll have a look at the profiles. And right before the DigiNavi, we got the results of the official poll 21 and 23. 21 was a Q&A for the Vital Bracelet. 23 was choosing of which four Digimon would get added to the reference book first. All four will be added with proper profile artwork. Um, so that's cool. Dokugamon, Shadow Serafimon, um, King Numamon, I guess, or no, not Numamon, the other one, Sukamon. Is it like a King Sukamon with the crown, and then Yo-Yo-Mon? I want to call it. I don't know. I think I've seen that design before, but I could be very wrong. Um, As part of a lead up to his concert, Ayumi Miyazaki will have a free live stream on St. Patrick's Day. Okay, we might check that out. Don't know if we'll do that live, but um, it'll start at 9 p.m. Japan time and will be a short talk event and mini acoustic concert. 9 p.m. Japan time on March 17th. That is like 5 in the morning for me. Oh, we may have to give that one a miss, or watch it, or watch it on archive. Although because music's involved, it'll be a copyright nightmare. So maybe we'll just keep it low as as I talk over it. But um, that's cool. Um, no idea if it'll be geo-locked or not. Okay, so that's another thing. Because it's a Japanese concert, it could end up being geo-locked. So we may not be able to do anything at all. Um, and then a number. A vinyl version of Watakoji's best, and I say best in inverted commas here because I love Watakoji, and the songs, they're all great. Like, he basically is Digimon music. And R.I.P. The man was amazing, amazingly talented. But because of copyright issues with Sony, I believe, they can't get access to the songs that he did from Cross Wars, so the album is incomplete. Like, the album covers, I think, everything up to Digimon Savers, and maybe there's probably the Try version of Butterfly is probably in there as well. But because the music for Cross Wars was done by a different company, they don't have the rights to it, and I don't know if they're in a hurry to buy the rights back. Although you think with all the adventure pushing and merchandise sales, they'd have a few quid that they could buy the licensing for those tracks, but or buy the rights to them, to add them into their own collection rather than have this one part of the franchise that's just never really touched upon because somebody else has the rights to it. But maybe in time, hopefully that'll be a bit of good news in the future. Pre-orders are available, blah, and yeah, it's a vinyl version of this album. Really nice cover art. Um, oh, gee, wow. Okay. Um, so there's some nice, handsome Angemon for your day. That's I wasn't expecting the artwork to be so big. Um, but yeah, I think if I recall correctly, Angemon was Watakoji's favorite, so that's why he's on the cover. Um, Plus, it might be a nice little way of referencing that he's with the angels now, so to speak. So that might have something to do with it. Okay, I think I'll save that. I wasn't expecting the artwork to be just so ginormous. That'll be an awesome desktop wallpaper. Um, right. Okay. So, let's see. English. This is going to be oddly translated, but so Burgermon level growth period. I believe that's child level. Food type, vaccine, finishing move, delicious spatty green pickles. He was buff, wasn't he? Um, a food Digimon that incorporates a wide variety of hamburger data. It is the joy of acting as a hamburger with his arms on a hungry Digimon together with. It is the joy of acting as a hamburger with his arms on a hungry Digimon. Yeah, that's a bad translation from Google. Thank you. Oh no, I know you meant Angemon, Meg. I know you meant Angemon. Um, Together with Shrimp Burger, we aim to create a first-class hamburger shop where many customers gather. Those who interfere with the meal are merciless and repel with oh god, yeah, it's just a very bad translation, which sandwiches the opponent with a large delicious patty and green pickles, which throws a pickle-shaped disc like a frisbee. Okay, so basically, the guy wants to set up a hamburger shop and turns repels people who would interfere with his shop with a delicious patty, which sandwiches the opponent into a burger, and then he throws green pickles like frisbees at them. That's basically what it's saying. I think, like he's adorable, but like that, geez, okay. Um, God, those are so weird. Burgers that want to eat burgers and potatoes that like fries. I know, right? So, speaking of Podemon or Potatomon. Oh, he's an adult level. That's fun. Ew, pickles. No, Meg, bad. Ew, pickles. So he's an adult level. Uh, I mean, he doesn't look it, but then again, Tailmon doesn't look like an adult level. So food type, vaccine, death blow, bashed potatoes, bashed. Okay, so a gourmet Digimon that has read the data of all French fries. While eating French fries, I may want many Digimon to sympathize with this deliciousness, so I share the recommended French fries around. The person who attaches the fries to the fried potatoes is certified as a Kramer, and the Shubashaba potato that shoots sharp potatoes and the flat and big hot bashed potato are knocked down from the sky, and the fried potato was wonderful for the person who apologized. Let's taste the potatoes. Burgermon is a competing partner for who is the protagonist of fast food. Okay. So, fair enough. Um, uh, yeah, so again, like he's a potato monster that attacks with potatoes and they'll share fries after a battle. Okay. Um, competing partner for the protagonist of fast food. I love I love that line. I do. I love that line. The fast food protagonist. Um, it sounds like Food Wars or something, you know. Although probably less. Yeah, Food Wars is a thing. Anyway, uh, certified as a Kramer. What the hell is a Kramer in this context? Whatever. And then we have Torikara Ballmon. Oh, literally, he's a chicken ball. Literally, chicken ball. Oh, oh man, now I want Chinese food. Probably bad translation, yeah. So he's a baby two. Okay. So he's the stage before child. Fair enough. Food type, no attribute. Death blow, vegetable foam. So basic what, just veggie bubbles. A Digimon born from a fried chicken recipe. Digimon born from fried chicken recipe data. Since it flies with a fluttering and delicious smell, it seems that if Balmon is nearby, other Digimon around it will feel hungry. When chased by a hungry Digimon, it blows vegetable bubbles from its mouth and slides the opponent, leaving only the scent while hindering its movement and flying away. Oh my god. So, okay, like I mean, bad translation aside, this is probably the one that makes the most sense. It flies around, people get hungry when it's around because it's quite literally a chicken ball. But it shoots it just it shoots bubbles at them and trips them up. Like, and then it flies away. Okay. Yeah, so that's the one that makes the most sense. Fair enough. I mean, they're all adorable, but God, I can't get over the fact he's just literally a chicken ball. And the more I say chicken ball, the hungrier I'm going to get. You think you're going to get a bite of some tasty fried chicken and then get hit with a vegetable. Nightmare. Ah, veggies are good. Well, certain veggies. Okay. Well, look, that was fun. Moving on then. Yes, the X Antibody V Pets are getting a US release this summer. Um, Apparently, it'll be available in overseas markets as well. I have never seen these around, but then again, we've been locked up for a pandemic, so maybe they have been. But so after over a year and a half of leaks and other bits, they announced a US release. It'll also be distributed in other countries. That's cool. In addition, they added more colors. I do like the red and black one. Um, the blue and white isn't bad either. Are they like the clear one? Maybe I'd need to look at that screenshot again. But oh, translation one posted it. Oh, I missed that entirely. So, um, uh, okay, look, I won't stall for time trying to find it, but yeah, these look fun. I mean, X Antibody Digimon are really good, but so we've Omegamon X and Beelzemon X, Beelzemon Blast Mode X. Um, cool. Oh, that. Oh God, yeah, that's just ancient. That's yeah, but yeah, they would work basically the same as those. Sent on Nile. Yeah, I see it that. Yeah, no, yeah, like that's an interesting model. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Um, but where were we? Yeah, but yeah, they would basically have the same functionality. Like they're just reproductions of the old 90s battling Tamagotchis, So they'd function exactly the same way. Like I have the gold one from the 20th from the 15th anniversary. Um, yeah, I have it in my hand here. I have the gold one from the 15th anniversary. Or no, 20th. Sorry, was it? No, sorry. Zubamon was the 20th anniversary. Yes. So anyway, so I have that here. But actually, let's see if I can do a thing. Mouse. Yeah. So I have that one. but they would function exactly like you'd expect, and they would work the same way. Um, all right, so now I touched on some vital bracelet stuff earlier, so I guess the first one then is a longer vital bracelet band is going to be done through Premium Bandai. Apparently it was mentioned they were looking into making this a while back. The longer bands for the vital bracelet will be sold in black to make them more comfortable to use for those with larger wrists. The replacement bands will be 2 centimeters longer than the stock band, adding 3 notches, which uh, should fit wrists from about 16 centimeters to 21 centimeters. I got a measuring tape here, and this is kind of something I was worried about because obviously it is a Japanese product, and sorry, it's like so the standard wristband. I was kind of worried about whether that would be enough, but if they are going to make an extended, if they are going to make an extended strap, that's cool. But I bought the green one, you know, for the mascot colors, and if they're only selling this in black for now, I mean, it defeats the purpose. I mean, why did I buy the green one if they're only doing a replacement black strap? So hopefully that is something they look at down the road. That they do them in the white and the green as well. But I'm kind of worried, like that this thing will arrive and it just won't fit. You know, that'd be kind of awful. Um, or like I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine, but you do have to. Sorry, I was just messing with a measuring tape there. Um, but you do have to wonder, like, if it fit at first, right, and then you started gaining bulk, and your arms got bigger, and obviously your wrists are a part of that, and so forth, and then it just stopped fitting. That'd be kind of awkward. But I do have like I believe like the fan community will solve this. The fan community will go, they'll end up 3D printing their own bands, and they'll likely be cheaper than the official release. Um, you know, like I would totally purchase the extended band if it came in the green, because if I'm forced to buy a black band, then why did I buy the green bracelet? You know? Um, so that does kind of suck, but pre-orders open at Premium Bandai for 660 yen, and they close on April 29th, and then they'll ship in August. Now, Nippon Yasan still hasn't even um, Nippon Yasan still hasn't even started processing my order. Like, it's paid, but God, this is the thing I hate about the Premium Bandai website as well. It's like I want to see your product, and they go, "Oh no, please select your." I'm like, just show me your damn product, man. Um, and then just the website takes forever to load. Like it's so. Oh God, I dislike browsing the Premium Bandai website. I genuinely do. I dislike browsing it. I didn't even click on anything. I mean, it's a cool looking Gundam and all, but uh, anyway, We can harvest parts from some cheapo stuff till they. Yeah, probably. Like I'm sure it'll be fine. You know, like if that's an accurate image, yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine. I mean, boosts it up from 16 centimeters to 21, so that's not awful. Uh, which means the current one then is what, 14 to 19? It's hard to tell. Mm. Yeah, it might be a tight fit, but sure. We'll see when it gets here. Again, my order is still processing. Nippon Yasan are still saying that it's releasing on the 31st of the month. But if by looking at Twitter, like it released yesterday, and everyone on Twitter seems to have theirs, so it's just Nippon Yasan being Nippon Yasan again. Um, I'm gonna have to start. That is my last order with them. I don't have anything else pre-ordered through them, so I'll probably start using a service like Japan You Want or something going forward. Because just Nippon Yasan are just incredibly slow, and I've talked about the problems I've had with them in the past, so I won't dwell too much on it. Um, then, oh yeah, it's, geez, I missed that. It totally said there. So the current wrist strap is 14 to 19 centimeters. Um, so yeah, it'll be a comfortable fit, but for those with bigger wrists or for those who bulk up during, their exercise or whatever, if they are using this for like dedicated exercise routines, the longer wrist strap is going to be a benefit there, but the options would be great. So sell more than just the black one. The black one is probably cheaper at the moment, and that's probably all it is. It's probably cost saving. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do announce different colored straps down the road. So, okay, so we'll move on from that. I think we've jumped around that topic enough. Um, so, Pulsemon parallel card, first look. So, um, early adopters of the Vital Brace, um, it was announced that Pulsemon, the mascot for the Vital Brace, would be getting his own card. And I kind of love it. Of course, like at the moment, you're only getting one per Vital Brace if as an early adopter. So it's been mentioned that card game events would get more Pulsemon cards, so they will sort of flood the market a bit. So getting a playset of Pulsemon won't be um probably won't be too tough. Um, we have a look at the first one, which will be part of a participation prize bundle being held as part of a TCG online lobby in Asia. The card is a parallel for Pulsemon for the promo we've already seen. So by taking part in this tournament, you're getting a shinier version of the card that's already going to come with the brace. We'll just open up the announcement in a new tab here. Um, the card is a parallel card for the Pulsemon promo card we've already seen. The small promo image of it is the left image above, and the right is an attempt to scale it, which decimated the text, which matches the prior card. So just with the will did their own sort of mock up on what it would look like. Um, this is also expected to be a Tamer Exchange Party participation card for April in Japan, although that could very well be a different parallel card, as they hinted we'd see multiple a while back, so probably alternate art. If I had to guess, I'd say that's probably this exchange party thing will likely just be a alternate art of this. Um, the Tamer exchange meetings and Tamer battle events have begun in Japan again. Some areas still aren't having them due to the state of emergency. But yeah, so they Tamer Battles will use Battle Pack 4 with the equivalent winner cards. These hadn't been widely distributed due to event cancellations because of the ongoing trouble. But you can see there, like with Chimeramon, you can see like it's the same basic art, but just the background is different and such. So I imagine with the Pulsemon distribution, it'll be similar to this, where it'll just be slightly tweaked, or it could be just completely different alternate art. Um, okay, that stuff we don't need to cover. But geez, no, it already is alternate art. So this is the one that comes with the bracelet. Oh, okay, so that is the okay. So wow, okay. For some reason, I thought this was the one that was coming with it, but no, this is the. He's like a yellow Sonic. I'd have said I'd have said Vmon, but yeah, he does get a lot of Sonic comparisons. Um, he looks like a mix between Vmon and Gumdramon to me, but so this is the version of the card that'll come with the brace, and then this is the one that's being done as a promo. But again, look, I expect these to flood the market because they'll be distributed and there's going to be different ways of getting this one. So I think getting a playset of Pulsemon is going to be fine um, for anyone outside of Japan. I'm not really sure when the English version of this, but he's got to go fast to get them steps in. This is true. This is true. Um, and like this is the one I'm going to be raising on my vital bracelet. This is why I got the green one. But the green one also does come with a different chip that you can raise Vmon, and I was like, ooh, a VV of my own. Yeah, that because I'm already playing a Vmon deck in the card game. I do need to update that, you know. So maybe I was like, ooh, a VV of my own plus the new mascot. Sure, give me the green one. Um, but yeah, but I imagine they'll be easy enough to get because they'll be prize cards in distribution. He's probably going to be a bit pricier than this fella, but if these things are going to start showing up at tournaments and events as prize and participation awards, it'll be fine. Um, so so what have we got? Yeah, the start guide. Yeah. So at the moment, at least, it appears it'll be included in the box with early purchases of the Vital Bracelet. So I should have one when my Vital Brace arrives, whenever Nippon Yasan decide to ship it out. And it's some really nice. I really do love the artwork on both versions of the card. Um, um, the DigiNavi on March 12th will also feature the premiere of the second Vital Bracelet promo shot and the Digimon Identities memory card. Oh yeah, the trailers they're putting out for this Vital Bracelet are friggin' awesome. I've watched this, but I was kind of watching it on my phone, so I wouldn't mind booting it up, maybe towards the end here, and just showing how much effort they're putting into promoting this glorified Fitbit. Um, who knows if I get two into this, Pulsemon could end up replacing Wormmon in the background. He won't, but I love Wormmon too much. Um, and I'm very shocked. Like we're coming up on a year since I pre-ordered the that Wormmon plush. Like it's looking at me right now, and I'm just like, it's nearly been a year since I have you. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know, Meg. I put the most. It probably is too early. Like it's probably like 9 in the morning for a lot of them, and the podcast usually goes out later in the day. Um, So I, they can be friends and be there together. Yeah, I mean that's it. Um, I mean when I do talk about Applimon on the channel, Navimon takes Wormmon's spot, and it's only because I love like because Navimon is probably my favorite Appmon. Um, because he's just such a dick to the main character's monster. I love him so much. Like he's basically like Navi as in navigation. Like he's a GPS monster, but I love him so much. Um, so yeah, usually when we were talking about Navimon, oh sorry, when we were talking about Applimon on the YouTube channel, Navimon would sub in for Wormmon. Like he's a little samurai GPS monster and has wheels for feet. He's great. I love him. He did in his opening episode. That was the problem with his app. It was corrupted and it was giving people the wrong directions. So actually, yes, that basically was his deal. He looks like Gardevoir and Marvin the Martian had a baby. You take that back right now. I will have no blasphemy against this good boy. I will have no such blasphemy. How dare? How dare? Um, but yeah. So where were we? Um, okay. So yeah. Before I touch on the key art stuff, um, Alphamon or Ryuken mode is getting a figure art, and I'm just like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. I mean, look at this thing. It looks amazing. Um, no, obviously we've a great deal of attachment to, well, I do anyway, to Alphamon because of Cyber Sleuth and Kyoko and all that stuff. So seeing Alphamon actually get a figure for a change is like, geez, this never happens. Like there's like a billion Omegamon figures, but Alphamon getting one is just like, uh, who signed off on that? Because I want to shake their hand. Um, but like it's really well detailed. I mean, like he did have a cameo, basically a cameo in Digimon Adventure Tri, but and most people know him from the X Evolution movie, which is yeah, that is a thing that exists. Oh, oh boy, is that a thing that exists. Um, but my attachment to him was never my attachment to him was never from the X Evolution movie or from that pitiful appearance on Try. It was because of Cyber Sleuth and Kyoko. Is there a price? There probably is. There's the. I'll get to pricing in a second, but just look at that. I mean, and his cape is actually cloth with wire in it, so you can pose the cape. And then he has like the jet streams coming out of the back, and so I think it's really cool. Like posable cape, fire boosters. Um, he looks really well. I'm just like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I'm trying to cut down on my collections here. Um, but and then I'd almost feel like obligated to get the Omegamon one to fight for it to fight. Um, I'm just like, no. Um, 10,450 yen. So, ooh, about 100 quid. It's probably a bit less when you convert it into euro, but I generally tend to, when it comes to yen, where's the thing gone? I tend to move the decimal point or the comma one space across to get a rough estimate of it in dollars and then round back to euro. So probably about 90 quid in euros, which is kind of par for the course with figure arts with that much going on. Um, let's have a look. 104.50 yen to euro. Okay, 80 euro. And then shipping would bring it up to the 100 mark. So yeah, 80 is about expected. And then you're probably looking at up to 100 with shipping. Um, and that's before any sort of import fees. Like that is just basic shipping before any import fees. Um, I wonder if actually no, let's not bring up Amazon because going through checkout on Amazon would yeah, that would give away personal information. So let's not do that. um, oh, and there it is posed next to another version. Um, or is that just it on its own? Okay, yeah. So like that's the figure, and then that's the Oryuken mode. Oh no, that must have been the original version because the cape is much more plasticky. So this must be the original release, and then this is the special version for the Oryuken mode. Um, so you can see the differences in the cape. It's so much more plasticky here. Um, and then you've got just it's so much bigger and fluffier, and you can see the wiring. Um, you don't have to do that, Meg. I do appreciate the gesture, but really, there's no need. Um, so then does look badass as frick though, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, this thing. So back on the Vital Bracelet, a guidebook that comes with the Vital Bracelet shows off the evolution lines on the DIM cards. So these are little chips that you plug into the side of the bracelet, and that's what lets you train up more Digimon. So, I mean, these are spoilers technically. So, if you'd rather not, turn away now. um, so it does show like using the Pulsemon card. It like you get is in training to so Dokimon, Bibimon, then Pulsemon. So Doki is heart, Bibi Bibi, or isn't Doki is either heart or heartbeat, isn't it? Because what's that meme? What's the meme? You make my heart go doki doki. So really fast beating. So I think it's more heartbeat. And then Bibi, I guess, is beep 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 for like um a machine. Then you get Pulsemon, and then depending on your own, now all the evolutions are dependent on your own activity. So depending on how much exercise you do or how little exercise you do, you could end up with Bulkmon, Runnermon, Exermon, as in exercise, and then Namakemon, which is just a sloth. So if you're completely, it's the noise of the heartbeat, the beep 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 beep. Yeah. Um, then so if you're just completely lazy about it, you could end up as a sloth. Um, and then can either turn into Boutmon, Shootmon, Unknown. So they're keeping some things hidden, but I'm sure these names will be out in no time. Tempomon, which I think we've seen proper art for, but I kind of love Tempomon in his big penguin suit. I think we've seen proper art for him already, but let me have a look here. Bring up all Wikimon here. Yeah, I mean, look at him. He's freaking awesome. Look at him and his. Is that a hammerhead shark? It is. That is a hammerhead shark giving a thumbs up. Um, and then we have Pistmon. Oh, jeez. Like I get it. It's meant to be piston, but geez, that artwork leaves a lot to the does it that artwork really leaves a lot to the imagination, doesn't it? Oh God. Let's not bring this to a dark place. Let's not. Um, and then we have this thing, which is also unknown. Kaduchimon, Shivamon, and Achillesmon. Um, moving on then to the Vmon DIM dim card that comes with the green version. No, that name does not work so well in English. It doesn't. Um, so obviously Chicomon, Chibimon, Vmon, Vdramon, XVmon, Flamedramon, Lydramon, Aero Vdramon misspelled, Paildramon, Sagittariumon, Dinobemon, Gold Vdramon, and Digitamamon, who can then go to um, oh, that's just Imperial Dramon fighter mode. Not sure why all the question marks are there, because regular Imperial Dramon dragon mode is here, so that's just fighter mode. And then we have Ulforce Vdramon and Magnadramon. Treating not Magnadramon, sorry, Magnamon. Treating him like a Mega though, that's interesting. Um, and then the Agumon one, fun, because I love talking about Agumon these days. Yeah, no worries. Take your time. I'm honestly surprised you're here, considering all the family stuff you had on today. Okay. Oh, right. Hold on. I need a drink to clear my throat. Ugh. I should have stocked up on water before I did this, but cherry Pepsi it is. Right. So the Agumon card. We've got Bodamon, Koromon, and Agumon, of course, who can then turn into Greymon, Algamon, Ogremon, or Sealamon, Metal Greymon, Andromon, Animalocarimon, Mamemon, Neo Devimon, or Metal Tyrannomon. Some of these make sense, some of them less so. who can then go on to become Don Devimon, War Greymon, or Blitz Greymon. This makes no sense without Devimon in the actual lineup there. I'm not sure. I get Algomon is probably here just to promote Adventure 2020, but you could swap out Sealamon for regular Devimon. Like Sealamon to Anomalakarimon into Blitz Greymon, for example, just does not add up for me. But Omegamon is also an option because, of course, he is. Ah, now this is interesting. This is a lot more interesting. The Gabumon card. Um, Punimon, Sunamon, Gabumon, fine, Garurumon, Gorimon, Dokugamon, another Algomon, okay, Weregarurumon, Parrotmon, Valvemon, Big Mamemon, Waruseedramon, Orochimon, and then for the Megas, we have Metal Garurumon and Crest Garurumon, which, is fine, but this Millenniumon, no, sorry, that's not Millenniumon, that's the big snake. That's Needhogmon, isn't it? Okay, not. I mean, he's already been in the show at this point. Yeah, Orochimon evolved into Needhogmon um, later on in the episode I hate 18. But sorry, it's just because there is an enemy. There's two enemies at the end of the Adventure 2020 Digivice, which I do have on hand for a bit of discussion in a moment. There's two enemies at the end of it which just don't add up, and it's kind of like a dark whaley thing and like this ball with tentacles, and that's what I thought this was alluding to at first, but no, this is just Needhogmon. Um, but okay, so that's showing on the Impulse City chip, the Ancient Warriors chip, the Adventure 2020 Agumon chip, and the Adventure 2020 Gabumon chip. There's also this one, which is a bit more. Um, so we have here the Volcanic Beat chip, and that starts off giving you Mokumon, Petit Meramon, and Vorvomon, with then letting you evolve into Birdramon, Tyrannomon, uh, Lav- Lavorvomon. I hate saying that name. And then Miramon into Master Tyrannomon, Flaremon, Volcamon, Death Miramon, Lavogaritamon, Groundramon, into Unknown, Marsmon, Volcanic Dramon, and Cannondramon. Flaremon is the odd choice here. Unless this is like Apollomon, kind of doesn't add up. I'm not sure why Flaremon is in here. Flaremon is just kind of one of those Digimon where I feel like if you're going to include one of the line, you should include all of the line. But it's clear it wants you to go Vorvomon to Lavorvomon into Lavogaritamon into Volcanic Dramon. Um, and then the other ones are all obviously just based on how well you exercise or don't while the bracelet is attached. Then we have Blizzard Fang. Now I'm not as familiar with this line, the Balukomon, because he's the mascot for a Chinese mobile game. They're starting to use him in more materials for the rest of the franchise, but he debuted in a Chinese exclusive mobile game, so kind of like Harrismon for Rearise. Actually, not surprised Harrismon isn't being promoted on one of these chips. Maybe down the road, but so we start off with Yukimi Bodamon into Hiyarimon, um, who looks like a little duck thing. Um, and then we have Balukomon into Yukidarumon, Paledramon. Not sure why there's two N's here. That's an odd typo. Pale, not Pale, so not to be confused with Paledramon. Um, Hyogamon, which is just Ice Ogremon. Um, Moosemon. Okay, got to get that Canadian representation in there, I suppose. Um, then into Mamon, Panjamon, which is just Ice Leomon. Cressamon, which again is one of these things where I feel like if you're going to use one of this line, you should use all of this line. I mean, it makes sense with Flaremon being here, but still an odd choice. Crispaeldramon, Dipenmon, and Frozomon. Frozomon looks fun. Um, and then eventually into Unknown, Hexblaumon, Skullmamon, and Frostvelgermon. Okay, so the true evolution line would be Bluco into Pale, into Crispale, into Hexblau. Um, although Frostvelger I've never seen though, so maybe it is Frostvelger. Let's have a look at the other one. Volcanic. No, they're not even positioned the same. But I think this is where this ends up. I think it goes from Beluco to Hexblau. Moving over then. So the dim card for Metal Greymon Virus is a special dim card for pre that came with pre-orders of the special brace, the green one again. It also got a promotional thing, but another promo was run for Black Garurumon, which was like a lottery in Japan. So I don't know how likely it is that they might re-release this for general populace in the future, but so far with my own DIM card, I'll have Impulse City, I'll have Ancient Warriors, and I'll have Black Roar. It's the only reason I haven't pre-ordered in any of the other ones. I'm like, oh guys, let me get used to it first. Having all these chips and not being able to use them. No thanks. But plus, I have no real attachment to these two. I mean, he's cool looking, but I have no real attachment to these. Uh, so yeah, like there's only one evolution line: Bodemon to Koromon to Agumon to Greymon to Metal Greymon to Black War Greymon, and even then, it looks like it'll just run on a timer. Like so, you'll start with Bodemon, and then after an hour, it'll evolve to Koromon. Then 3 hours into Agumon, 16 hours Greymon, 24 hours Metal Greymon, and then however long up to Black War Greymon. So, and then we see the same thing here with Punimon, Sunamon, Gabumon, Garurumon, Were Garurumon, Black Metal Garurumon. So, yeah. Um, but okay. So maybe you can get Omegamon Zwart through those, but yeah. So those are sort of what's been shown so far. I do like that some of them still have like an unknown. They're not just spelling out what everything is on it, but again, I'm sure that information will come to light as more people get their hands on them. So, um, okay. So apparently there's some other information. Um, the third volume of DIM cards will contain Hermit in the Jungle and New Metal Empire. It'll be released in August. Also in August, the fifth Vital Bracelet promotional short. Okay, so we're on two promotional shorts for the Vital Brace now. So we'll be on the fifth one by August. So they're really spacing those out, probably to keep them in line with the DIM cards. Um, and oh no, I wonder who these could be. I hope you enjoy your tea, and thank you. Yada yada. So I guess I can't really put this off for much longer. Um, we'll have to talk about the how Tempomon evolves from Exermon. Nice. A Birdman Digimon that evolved via dance music data. Awesome. I love his design. No, this isn't what we can't put off. Um, oh boy. Sorry, I was hoping this page would load up faster so I could just grab the PNG of Pulsemon here, but it's not even a PNG. I don't know, Meg. Um, shouldn't be freezing. OBS says we have a stable connection, so shouldn't be freezing. But I am recording this anyway, so I'll put the recording over on the main site. Okay, so with the vital bracelet, there's the booklet that we mentioned. There's some new artwork on the back of the booklet. And this is new key art for the show. And, it is nice to get the confirmation that everybody's going to get their mega level. We see Holy Dramon in the corner here. And we knew that was coming, right? Early even though early previews and even the 2020 toy, which I'm beeping here, showed that Ophanimon was going to be Tailmon's Mega um, in the show. And we've seen Ophanimon in the show through flashbacks already. The 2020 Digivice toy also spoiled that Holy Dramon would show up, or Magna Dramon for the Western audience. I say that like I'm not part of the Western audience, but I feel like I need to clarify names so just people who aren't familiar with one know what I'm talking about. But so we knew Holy Dramon was coming, right? And in the background here we have Hoomon. There's Rosemon being absolutely teeny tiny. Metal Garurumon, Heracles Kabuterimon, Vikemon, Wargreymon, of course. But going by information we had so far, somebody was missing. And that somebody is Seraphimon. But then the artwork decided to do the old bait and switch. And we can see down here. Now, it's not the most clear image, so let me just see if I can find a clearer image. Let me have a look here, because I know clearer images of this exist. But, so let me just take off the display capture for a moment. I'm sure a quick Twitter search, I'll be able to grab one. Because that image I'm showing isn't the most clear, and people were just mainly speculating because it was kind of blurry. But down in that corner did appear to be a Goddramon. Now, Goddramon is something we haven't seen in the anime proper at all, like in any variant. Um, but he is an alternative um, mega level for the Patamon line. So Patamon in this show gets two champion forms, with Angemon and Pegasmon, because they're treating Pegasmon as a champion in this show rather than an armor level. But he also gets Goddramon, and that's kind of interesting. Oh, there's a much better image taken from the recent DigiNavi. So I'll bring the I'll take the display capture off now that I have a much better image. Sorry, I put the display capture back on, and you can see it there, right? That's Godramon. The horns, the face mask, the patterns around the eyes. That is Godramon. The Digivice didn't spoil that. I even went back and looked before I started this podcast, and Pegasusmon is in here, which is how I knew he was coming to the show. Holydramon is in here, which is how I knew he was coming to the show. But this is new, and this makes me wonder if everybody's getting second evolutions, or is it really just going to be Taichi, Yamato, Hikari, and Takaru that get multiple forms? Because, like, sorry, I had a theory a while back when when the information when I was trying to piece together where the show might go. I had a theory that maybe the alternate evolutions for Hikari and Takaru would be how Blitzgreymon and Crescarurumon came into the show, and that's how we got Omegamon Alter S, who may or may not become Omegamon Alter B. I really don't know at this point. But my thought was, what if regular Omegamon wasn't strong enough to deal with Millenniumon, particularly if Millenniumon's going to evolve or take shape into this dark whale thing that's in the Digivice, or this black ball tentacle thing. And I thought, maybe that's where maybe these new evolutions will unlock more new evolutions, right? Similar to Hurricane Touchdown, where um, Angemon and Angelwomon evolved to Holydramon and Seraphimon to release the Golden Digi-Eggs, so that Vmon and Terriermon could Golden Armor Digivolve. So I thought maybe it'd be something like that. And then Pegasmon just showed up later on in the show. Hey, Eris. Yeah, thanks very much for joining in. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking. I hope you're keeping well as well. I hope you're keeping well also. But so we're just talking about Godramon being confirmed for Adventure 2020, and like I thought, but then Pegasmon just turned up, and I thought, okay, well look, he's not obviously not going to have anything to do with Blitzgreymon and Crescarurumon. All right, that was off the table. They're using Pegasmon so that they don't dilute Angemon appearances, because Angemon appearances are meant to be special, and I totally appreciate that. And I thought that was a fun way to go about it. using past history and doing something new with it. I was totally cool with that. And then Blitzgreymon turned up in the most random way possible, which makes sense in the context of the episode. Regardless of what your feelings on the episode are, they did build it up with the idea of Digimon evolutions changing depending on the environment that they're in. Uh, Similar to real world evolutions and what Pokemon has sort of dabbled in with like Alola forms and Galarian forms and different things, where evolution will change or alter depending on your surroundings. And so Blitzgreymon turning up in the episode makes sense in context. And then I thought, well, there goes my theory. Because I thought, well, we had Ophanimon confirmed through a flashback. We see the silhouette of Seraphimon. We've even seen Seraphimon in the episode where Pegasusmon shows up, because we see that he was captured and how his power was drained, and he was Seraphimon, then Shadow Seraphimon, then Holy Angemon, and then Angemon. And so I thought, okay, well, look, my theory's debunked. That's fine. I'm looking forward to seeing what the show does with it. And now I wonder if I wasn't too far off. Now I have to wonder if the new form, the new forms that Millenniummon might take in this show, the dark whale thing and the black ball tentacle. I wonder if regular Omegamon and Ophanimon and Seraphimon just aren't strong enough. And so this is where the new evolutions kick off. I fully expect that we'll still get an episode where Cresgarurumon turns up on its own, similar to how Blitzgreymon turned up. I fully expect that to be a thing. But I'm starting to wonder, based on this art, and I should really just bring the art back up on screen. There he is. I'm really starting to wonder if we don't see Omegamon Alter S until the end of the show. And in a similar vein to Hurricane Touchdown and the Golden Digimentals, that we actually don't see Holy Dramon and Goddramon until the group is just pushed to their limit. And then they evolve to these two, and that unlocks the power to go to Omegamon Alter S. Now, look, I could be completely wrong here, but from the merchandising available, we only knew Holy Dramon was showing up. There was nothing to ever infer that Godramon here was going to turn up and do it. Yeah, and that's true as well, Eris. Like, Digimon are getting new evolutions, and adding Digivolution, branching evolution paths is a thing that this show does. And it's one of the things that I do love about the show. As much as I might gripe about certain other aspects on it over on the YouTube channel, particularly this guy here and how much screen time he gets compared to all these people here. Um, One of the things I do love about this show are the branching evolution paths, and I think it's a great idea. And it's something that the franchise just doesn't play enough with. So seeing it happen all throughout this show, um, I'm very much a fan of that. But I don't think anybody called Godramon turning up. Like when Pegasusmon turned up, everyone went, "Oh, well, that means we're getting the Ferdimon, right?" And I thought, no, I don't think so, because up to this point, this had been sort of our oracle crystal ball on what to expect in the future. If I can just get the mouse cursor over. Like, this had been our crystal ball. Like, this was going through what we could expect to show up. This was our it was a live spoiler. But then they've gone against this, and they'll probably end up releasing a version 2. And now I'm not so sure if Nefertimon won't show up. I mean, I think it's just as possible now that Tailmon can go Tailmon, Anjuwamon, Ophanimon, or Tailmon, Anjuwamon, Holydramon. I think it's just as possible to go Tailmon, Nefertimon, Holydramon, which some people would argue is an evolution line that makes more sense. Beast to beast to beast. But does that mean Pegasusmon is going to evolve into something and then go to Godramon? Or are we going to get Patamon go back to Angemon, back to Holy Angemon, and then Holy Angemon evolve to Godramon? And I think I'd be okay with either. I, I just because at this point, I'm just like anybody but Taichi. Exactly, they throw a curveball nobody saw coming. And at this point, I'm just like anybody but Taichi. If Hikari and Takaru come out of this show with like 6 different evolution paths, that would be amazing. Now, I'm being facetious when I say 6, because clearly it's 2. Patamon, Pegasusmon, something else, Goddramon, Tailmon, Nefertimon, Holydramon. Or in keeping with the original continuity, Tailmon, Anjuwamon, Holydramon. Either one I'm fine with. How they get to Godramon, though, I'm not 100%. Like, let's have a look at Godramon's Wikimon profile for a second. Evolves from. I mean, well, like, there's Holy Angemon. And maybe a better way to go about this, there's a Godramon X antibody? Of course there's a Godramon X antibody. Why wouldn't there be? Let's have a look at Pegasusmon for a sec and just see what evolution is available to him that could lead into Godramon. Because I really like the idea of Pegasusmon being the way we get to Godramon. If they keep it as Holy Angemon, look, that's fine. I'm totally on board with that as well. So Pegasusmon can evolve to Assaultmon, Dagomon, Garudamon, Hippogriffomon, Holy Angemon Priest Mode, Pegasusmon X Antibody, Indramon, Pixibon or Piccolomon, or Rise Greymon. Okay, so we're probably not doing a whole lot with Pegasusmon, if that's the case, unless he goes through Hippogriffomon, which I doubt, and then into um, Godramon. But the likelihood is we'll probably see Pegasusmon just warp evolve at that point. And that's if it's Pegasusmon to Godramon, and it's not just Angemon, Holy Angemon, Godramon, which might be easier on the animation budget to just keep the perfect levels the same. So just keep them as Anjumon and Holy Angemon, and then just spin those off into Holy Dramon and Godramon. It's probably easier on the animation budget if they do that, so I wouldn't be shocked. And Godramon X he's a chonky boy. He's not he's not completely different from regular Godramon, to be fair, but I thought I still had the picture up. But yeah, Godramon X, he's not he's not too far removed from the original compared to someone like Anjuwamon X, who I'm just like, yeah, that is just completely over designed. Um, but yeah, I mean, like Pegasusmon, I mean, it's a bit. Now, I granted that's the Frontier movie, but yeah, he's probably a bit too villainous looking for Pegasusmon to turn into. So I doubt that'll happen. I reckon might be a case where it's just easier on the animation budget to keep it as Holy Angemon into Godramon. But it's still something I'm really excited for. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited because like this is just we haven't seen Godramon animated before. I don't believe. I don't think Godramon has ever been in one of the other anime. I'm open to correction on that, but definitely wasn't in Tamers. Definitely wasn't in Frontier. Definitely not in Savers or Cross Wars. Yeah, no, I think this is the first time Godramon is going to show up. Hey, Blunter. It is history in the making, and I'm excited for it because it's a big golden dragon that just murders you with balls of light and fire. Um, unless they use Holy Angemon Priest mode, although I don't see that happening. This guy hasn't appeared since V Tamer. But I love this design for Holy Angemon so much more than the design we actually have. So it'd be a personal preference for this version to turn up, but I very much doubt that. I very much doubt I'll be given that. I very much doubt I'll be given that. Um, so let me just open up the regular Holy. Oh, I already had a tab open. Fine. We'll close it off because Google Chrome is having a seizure because I'm trying to do too much at once. Right. But yeah, that's regular Godramon. Like he does his X antibody form isn't too far off it. Um, uh, um, Phone in Jax T. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the Vital Bracelet. Is the capture stuck? Is it? Okay, hold on. Let me try and amend that because OBS is keeping up, but if the capture's stuck, hold on. Let me just try and sort that out. Okay, yeah, no, it does indeed appear that the capture is stuck. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Can we do anything for that? I might just need to close off a few of these. Yeah, of course it's Google Chrome causing the problem. Of course it is. We've tried to do far too much today. Uh, Google Chrome eats RAM like nobody's business. So closing off a few of these tabs should do the trick. Um, so while we're while we're waiting on that, I'll just okay. Is it back? Cool. This is the fun. This is the fun in doing things live, people. Um, you know, technical hiccups are technical hiccups are much more difficult to manage when you're doing things live. So apologies for any trouble you're facing. But so I'll switch the display capture off because it's probably easier on resources in that respect. OBS says we're fine, but like if people are having problems, people are having problems. So uh but yeah, no, to phone in Jax T, yeah, I can't wait for mine to come in. I'm just waiting for Nippon Yasan to say that they've shipped it. So hopefully that's this week. They still have it listed as coming at the end of the month, but like that's not right. It released yesterday, so hopefully they'll be processing my order this week, and I'm looking forward to showing that off and trying it out. Um, maybe it was just maybe it could have been your internet. No, 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 no. No, it wasn't. It wasn't you. It wasn't just you. But the stream seems to be catching up now, so that's good. Why are you using Chrome? It's a monster. Because when I was using Chrome, I had like three tabs open, and the longer this podcast has gone on, um, the more resources, the more tabs I've had to open. Yeah, and it was working fine. It was working until I had to go searching for Goddramon pictures, but it should be okay now. Um, but yeah, no, look, I'm looking forward to getting the Vital Brace and trying that out. Hopefully I'm not waiting too long. We've seen Godramon in games. I'm pretty sure I had one in Cyber Sleuth at one point. So we have seen him in the games, but he's never been in any animated media. So that's the bit I'm excited for. Oh, no, that's not the one I wanted. Uh, there we go. Do I think the episode coming up will be Sora focused? I do. We were talking about the episode previews at the top of the show, and the idea that Taichi and Sora are going to this flying jungle Digimon and battling a Tropiamon that turns Taichi and Agumon into fruit, or Taichi and Metal Greymon into fruit. It's yeah, it's definitely going to be a Sora focused episode. Um, but I don't think we're going to see the evolution in that episode. I think we're just going to get that energy silhouette thing that we've been getting for the last couple of episodes. And the episodes following this, following the next one, they aren't much better. So I'm not really sure what to make of them just based on the synopses alone, but they do sound like the most run of the mill filler episodes that really should have been earlier on in the show rather than into the 40s of a 66 episode broadcast. I mean, that's just my opinion. I mean, my YouTube comments clearly say differently, but just I think it's far too much. It's far too little, far too late to try and give these characters some character in the back half of the show when they could have been spending the series building them up. But yours coming in, phone in your vital bracelets coming in from Premium Bandai. Oh, cool. Have they? Sorry, are you getting the US release then? Is it? Yeah. Um, I feel like I should be talking about something else while I'm waiting for the chat to respond. Um, but what else is there? I mean, we've covered everything. Like the card game is a year old. It's getting some new cards. They're doing a promotion with the card game over in Japan where for every 500 yen you spend, you get one of these anniversary packs that have one of six cards. Yeah, Raremon's getting an evolution, and my feelings on it are basically it's nice to see older Digimon get some focus again, but at the same time, I feel like it's just going to look like Raremon touched a Mario superstar. So we're just going to have this golden Raremon running around going do 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 do. So I don't know. Um, like I'm hoping it's good. I always hope the episodes are at least entertaining, but the previews for them just don't fill me with much hope. Um, Of course, I want to be wrong, and I want the show to prove me wrong. I genuinely do, but it's just, yeah, I'm just, I just feel apathy toward it at the moment, and hopefully that changes once the show's air, or even the episode previews. Hopefully, the episode previews give me something to have faith in. I'm not entirely sure they will, but a person can hope. Much like Takaru's crest, a person can hope. Um, ah, and I really need to get a Pulsemon PNG for these title cards. I was just seeing if I could pull one off Google, but no, everything's a JPEG with a proper background. If I had a choice, what Digimon would I love to see in the 2020 anime? Um, oh, probably. Um, what would I love to see in the 2020 anime? Well, I think Pulsemon would have been fun, just to some cross promotion for the Vital Bracelet. Purismon got in last week as a reference back to the Rearise mobile game. So getting Pulsemon in for an episode could have been really fun. Um, but from previous series, if there's anyone I'd love to see, oh, I don't know. I think Shoutmon could have been good. Um, yeah, I think Shoutmon could have been really fun, or Sparrowmon. Actually, no, Sparrowmon is probably as much as I love Shoutmon. I think Sparrowmon could really do with some more screen time because Sparrowmon's great. Like there's a lot of the Cross Wars exclusive Digimon that definitely need more screen time and need to be just given a second chance. Like so, Shoutmon, Ballistamon, Dorulumon in particular. Digimon's version of Tiger from Monster Rancher. That's all Dorulumon is. Like he's just orange tiger. But like a lot of the Cross Wars Digimon, and I love the Cross Wars representation we've gotten so far. But I just think some of the more exclusive Digimon could be background filler or um, like I'm not I don't want to say I don't want to go with the obvious answers of more Royal Knights. I think we've done enough with the Royal Knights over various different parts of the franchise, like savers in the video games and things like the X Evolution. You know, the Royal Knights are done. Um, so I'm perfectly happy with I'm perfectly sorry, Meg. I've just seen your comment there about Tai Chi, and yeah, look, like, that's a whole other thing. But uh, I just stuff that hasn't been overused in the last couple of years, stuff that hasn't been saturated. Mekumon, but I don't want to see Mekumon in the show unless it's tied to the plot where we're seeing all these older holy Digimon sort of give advice. So we seen Valdermon, uh, we seen Lopmon, some Pendulum Z Digimon. Yeah, though, yeah, good. It was good seeing them again. Um, Digimon like Gokumon, who only showed up in a video game as a boss, seeing him show up was really nice. Just because they're just underused. I just think stuff maybe from like video games that don't get as much recognition because they're quartered off into this one little section of the fandom is nice. So when Gokumon shows up from Digimon Rumble Arena 2, I want to say 2. Chat can correct me on that, but when something like that shows up, I'm just like, yeah, that's awesome. Um, do I still play Rearise? No, I don't. And what happened there is we were doing a Rearise playthrough, and we stopped because the story content stopped. The newest updates hadn't come out. And during that time, I got a new phone. And when I got the new phone and I transferred all my data across from one to the other, my Rearise data didn't transfer and I couldn't download it. So I couldn't pick up from where we were. And I really just sort of lost interest then. I was like, I don't want to have to go through all that again. So I kind of just lost interest in even playing Rearise off screen and getting back to where I was because the hours that were spent in raising Digimon, putting a team together, all that stuff, I was just kind of, you know what, I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't need to do this anymore. And I kind of fell off with Rearise there, but even then, I say bringing Pulsemon in for some cross promotion. Lovely Angelmon, which is a silly old name, but I like the design of the character for some Rearise cross promotion or bringing Harrismon in. Um, I think it'd be really fun, but I don't think you can bring someone like Lovely Angelmon in because Takaru and Hikari haven't even gotten their own mega levels yet. So bringing in the sporty Anjouamon is, yeah, I can see why they didn't do it. But some cross promotional stuff like from video games and things, or stuff that only appeared in the manga, um, um, or hell, go completely out of left field. Bring Mirai in for some shenanigans. I'm sure you could do like now to in its defense, Mirai is probably better suited as something the manga can do because you're playing with multiverse shenanigans at that point, and Cross Wars already showed off the multiverse in the anime, although V Tamer for the manga established it years ago that the multiverse exists within the continuity. Um, so the Taichi and V Tamer has crossed over with Daisuke from anime season 2. He's crossed over with Takuya from anime season 4. He's crossed over with Taichi from 2020. The V Tamer establishes that the multiverse is there and is very fluid with it. So Mirai showing up maybe in the late 50s, early 60s of the show with her Mastemon in tow. I think that'd be really fun, but at the same time, I don't really think it would fit the overall feeling or theme of the show on its own. I think you just confuse a lot of people who may have not played the games. So keeping characters out of it, like keeping the human characters out of it, you could still bring in a Digimon like Mastemon. Um, you could still bring in um, Holy Angemon Priest mode or Ulforce Vidramon Future mode or different things. But if Future mode did show up, I think I'd much prefer that in a 02 reboot because it doesn't really make much sense otherwise because Daisuke has a Vmon, so give him that. And it's not often I bat for Daisuke. It's not, it's not often that I promote giving Daisuke something new, but again, you don't want to confuse too many people at once. So that's why I say the lower end of things of Digimon who've only really shown up once or twice in various media and have been forgotten about, or they've only showed up in a pendulum or a V-Pet toy, and they don't really get much exposure outside of that, and just bringing them into the spotlight. What the way they've been handling crossing over different elements of the franchise have been really good. More Banchos would be fun. Olympus 12, I'm not completely sure on. I mean, Cross Wars did a bit of the Olympus 12. Marsmon was there. Um, Apollomon was there. Apollomon was one of the main villains in Cross Wars. Um, then we had Marukimon or Mercurymon in season 5. So the Olympus 12 have had some time to shine. Mervamon in Cross Wars, the evolved or grown up version of Minervamon. Um, so the Olympus 12 have sort of been given spotlight. Maybe not all of them, but they have. The Boncho group would be fun because only Boncho Leomon has been shown in season 5. Boncho Lilymon, which I would love to see Mimi's, um, one of Mimi's, well, I say one of, but it's like it seems like every character is only getting one branching, unless you're Takaru. Uh, I would really love to see Mimi's branching evolution be Boncho Lilymon over Rosemon. She could go between the two. I think that'd be really fun because the Bonchos don't get enough screen time. Boncho Stingmon, I would hold off until a season 2 reboot. Do I think they'll get? Do I think we'll get a reboot of Adventure Zero 2? I don't, because I don't think Zero 2 prints as much money for them as Adventure 99, and I think that's why Adventure 99 got the reboot when it didn't need it. Adventure 99 did not need rebooting. A reboot would have been better served for something like Zero 2 or even Frontier. But if they do start rebooting the anime going forward and we get something after Adventure, if we get like Adventure 2022 and it's a new version of Daisuke and Miyako, Iori, and a grown up Takaru and Hikari, it would be okay. I'd like the idea in theory because in my mind, it could fix a lot of the mistakes Zero 2 had, where when after Ken was defeated, um, after Ken was defeated, Zero 2 didn't really know what kind of show it wanted to be. Now, I've said before, the narrative for Zero 2 is very structured for those first 26 episodes. There's a decent amount of characterization, there's a decent amount of filler, and you're always building on it's always building on itself in the lead up to the final showdown with the Digimon Kaiser or Ken Ichijoji. Um, After that, though, the show kind of falls apart between the Destiny Stones and the atrocity that is the Black War Greymon arc. I never want to see Black War Greymon in anime again. So if we do get a Zero 2 reboot, please leave Black War Greymon alone. I don't need my post traumatic stress disorder of Black War Greymon being brought up. Um, because he just, oh god, I'm not getting into it. I'm not. We're gonna be good. I'm not getting into it. But we don't need that. We really don't need that. But I do think it's an option to explore things like the Destiny Stones again and maybe do it right. Or I don't know, maybe have Ken as a long-term villain. Maybe a Zero 2 reboot is where you bring Mako from Tri back and you give her, a second chance to connect with an audience, because I think a lot of the problems with Mako is that she just didn't fit in with the original eight cast, from the original cast of eight, I should say, from a fandom perspective. She was just kind of shoehorned in.
when characters like when the Zero Two cast were seemingly killed off at the start of the show or the start of the series, and then it turns out they've just been in tanks. They've just been in tanks underground in the digital world for the length of Try's run. So you had and the idea that the Zero Two cast were never referenced is still a sore point for a lot of people with Try, who, when Try spends all this time trying to build Mako up as a character and show how important she is, and people are like, yeah, but the Zero Two kids, where are they? Why is Ken evil again? What's going on? And it doesn't get referenced. Like, I think, is it the start of movie two or three? Maybe it's three. It's the start of Confession, I think, where we see Takaru and Hikari knock on Ken's door, nobody answers, and they go, oh, okay, moving along. So we don't even see Ken's parents, we don't get any sort of notice on the news about these kids that are missing. You know, Takaru seems to have this social media set up for all the Digidestined around the world. Following on from A Million Points of Light at the end of Zero Two, but no one seems to bring up. Sorry, I tell a lie. Maki, I love Maki. Maki seems to know what's going on with the Zero Two kids, but they never come up in conversation. There are hints throughout throughout Try about the Zero Two kids, but the main cast themselves never actually go, "Hey, where are our friends? We should be more worried about them." Hmm. I wonder who might know. But no, instead you've got an evil Jedi going around licking the girls and it just being an overall creep. And, Maki and Daigo trying to get over their failures as past Digidestined and trying to help the new kids and all the stuff with the reboot. So yeah, if you did Zero Two again, I would love to see Ken, well, obviously Ken. I would love to see Mako get a second chance because I think she would be taken much better if she was brought into the main cast the same way Ken and Daisuke, Byakuya, and Iori were, rather than just shoehorned into a sequel 20 years after the original show had ended. Also, the Dark Ocean stuff with Daemon. I'm okay with them never touching Dagomon again and his whole thing about making Hikari his queen. I'm okay with them never touching that again as a character point. But Daemon and the Dark Ocean, yeah, sure, bring that back. Touch on that more. Do stuff with that you didn't in the original show, where you just forgot about or couldn't make time for because you were having War Greymon cry about his existential existence. For 10 episodes or however long Black War Greymon went on for. Um, One thing I would request though, like this is going to be heard by anybody tied to the show. One thing I one thing I would request is that you just don't nerf the original kids. If you do a reboot of Zero Two, or if I'm saying you as if I'm talking to people running the show, right? But when I say you, I'm meaning in a hypothetical sense, right? I'm not, I don't mean the chat. I just mean in general. Anyway, you guys know what I mean. So if there's a Zero Two reboot, don't nerf the original kids because that actually kind of hurt. It meant like stopping them from being able to evolve from because of the Black Towers alone was enough. You didn't need to go into all this stuff where they had to give up the power to evolve to ultimate to protect to strengthen the barrier between worlds and then we have to go and unlock the destiny stones to be able to get our powers back. Oh no, the stone has been destroyed. We can't evolve anymore. Except Azulongmon gave us back our power to evolve, but no, we have to give it up again uh, so that Imperial Dramon can evolve to fighter mode. It's just don't do that. Just don't do any of that. They can't evolve because of the Dark Towers. That's fine. That is plenty. You don't have to do any of this giving up the power stuff to try and nerf them so that they don't overshadow the original kids, overshadow the new kids. Like, Black War Greymon drastically hurt 0-2. Um, more than the epilogue, to be fair, but definitely more than the epilogue. I mean, the epilogue comes with its own set of problems, and the epilogue only comes with its own set of problems because of things like Try and Kizuna. Kizuna, for which I still have not seen because it never released over here, um, and I really don't want to put the money down on importing the American Blu-ray. It never released over here. And I'm just like, I really don't want to put the money down on importing the Blu-ray because the import fees are with shipping and import fees, it's as much as the Blu-ray itself. I'm just like, nah, no, I'm okay. I'm not in that much of a rush to see Kizuna. Um, but geez, yeah, just don't nerf the kids. Like if you can't have them on screen because you don't want them overshadowing the new cast, just give them something else to do. Just give them something else. There, I mean, you had that whole world tour arc where everyone went traveling, where everyone went globetrotting. Just do something like that. Oh, something's, Sora's not here to evolve to Phoenixmon because she's back in the digital world doing something, or she's helping out with a Dark Tower issue in Germany. Just something. You don't have to nerf them so that they don't overshadow the originals. Um, or even better, just give the rest of the cast their own megas. Like the only Daisuke and Ken out of the 0-2 kids were the only kids who could get to Mega because Seraphimon and Holy Dramon never showed up unless we're talking about Hurricane Touchdown, whose placement in the timeline is dubious at best. So it usually just gets lumped in between after Ken but before Arachnimon. Um, so you know, Seraphimon and Holy Dramon never showed up in the season proper. Daisuke, Ken, Miyako, and Iori never got their own individual perfect and mega levels. They got to perfect through Jogress, and only Paildramon got to evolve. So no evolution for Sylphimon to Jet Sylphimon, or no evolution for Shakomon into, I don't know, Holy Teapotmon. Wait, that basically was Shakomon. He's based on a Dogu doll. But is it Dogu or Dugo? I think it's Dogu. Um, but yeah, like just do more with the main cast. Just let them, don't have them so reliant on the Jogress. And I think that just gives them more room to build character and earn their own perfect and mega levels. Like there's like like you don't like Aquilamon doesn't have to turn into Garudamon like it did in season 5. There's plenty of things it can turn into to give Miyako her own evolution chains. So you just don't nerf the original kids and give the new kids more time to grow on screen. That's and put Black War Greymon in the bin. That's all I would really ask for in a season 2 reboot. I've taken the long way around to get there. I'm doing a lot of rambling, and I do apologize for that. But those would just be my main 3 points. Don't nerf the original 8 kids. Give the new cast something more to do and to grow as characters, and put Black War Greymon in the bin. Yeah, sorry, I went on a bit of a tangent there. I do apologize. Um, do I think any of that is going to happen? Probably not. I don't know where the show goes from here after Adventure 2020 ends. I don't know where the anime goes because I don't know if we get something new or if they just start rebooting all the older shows. And I kind of don't want them to reboot the older shows because I don't think the experiment in rebooting the main show to begin with has worked. Um, it's probably printed them a lot of money in card games and merchandising sales. I mean, I try not to be the biggest hypocrite in the world, but I mean, I bought the toy, I bought the Digivice for the show. Um, so I'm sure it's printed them a lot of money. But do they make a new anime after this? I mean, the last new anime was Applemon, and like Applemon made it into the top 10 anime in Japan that year when it came out. It made it into the top 10. I don't think any other Digimon season has made it into the top 10 for that year or that season. Um, but it did. So and Applemon was really good, but the Western audience just doesn't give it a chance. So if you're making a new anime, do you reboot again what people are familiar with and make a continuation of Adventure 2020 by rebooting 02 and making it 22, or do you try something new again and potentially have it backlash on you? Like the franchise itself, it finds itself in a very precarious position. Precarious position. There we go. In that respect, when they try something new, it doesn't seem to work, and when they try the older stuff, it almost becomes like they're reliant on it. Um, I would prefer a sequel to Tamers. Well, yeah, they're like obviously like they're a corporation. Of course, they care about money. Corporations are not our friends, you know. So I made peace with that years ago. I did make peace with that years ago, but I do worry that it stifles the creativity of it. Um, it's kind of why like the Pokemon anime. I mean, you look at the Pokemon anime, and the Pokemon anime hasn't changed since it started. It really hasn't. The Pokemon anime has not changed in the 20 something years it's been running. It's the same main character. They're at the same age. They're going traveling the region, collecting new mons, not evolving a lot of those mons, competing in the Pokemon League, losing, rinse repeat, win once, go back to basics. The Pokemon in anime terms is very safe because of that. Because they don't swap out the characters, because the plot doesn't change, because only the monsters change, but Pikachu is the constant, right? So there's always that familiarity. Like Ash hasn't got a new mascot every season. He hasn't got a new monster that they're trying to push the merchandise for as his main monster. Sure, there's things like Greninja and such that they did push very hard, but the familiarity is there, and I think that's what keeps the Pokemon anime safe is the familiarity. Digimon changes its cast out every season. It starts from scratch every season, with exceptions. Adventure to Zero 2, but generally Tamers, Frontier, Savers, Cross Wars, um, Applemon. And even Cross Wars, when they did Cross Wars Season 3, they brought in new characters. Like that was meant, Young Hunters was meant to be the 02 to Cross Wars' adventure. New characters, new protagonist. Like the similarities between Tagaru and Daisuke are remarkably strong. The similarities between the two, remarkably strong. and both are just as annoying. Tagaru might be the worst of the two, though. Um, and then you get Applemon. So in general, like it's always refreshing the cast, it's always refreshing the mechanics, and the franchise is always trying to grow and do different things, much like technology. It's always growing and changing. So it's always been one of the strong points of the show, and it's always what's kept the show better, in my opinion, anyway, than a lot of the other franchise anime. And by franchise, I mean things like Pokemon and long-running monster shows, just the monster battling anime franchise in general. Digimon not sticking to a thing and continuously changing, as as great as that is, it does hurt them because people love Adventure 2020, and I don't understand why. Well, I do, but I don't get the reverence people have for it because the show is very flawed, and and I don't want to rag on. I don't want to be cutting a "you people" promo here. God, I say that one a lot. Um, but people give Adventure 2020 a lot of leeway for stuff that other shows did that they criticize. They give a lot of leeway to the show for mistakes that Savers, Applemon, Cross Wars. They give a lot of they have a lot more goodwill for Adventure 2020 because the fandom, it's the characters they grew up with. They look like the designs that they remember, and it's rose tinted goggles um, rather than glasses. It is rose tinted goggles. That like the thing I grew up with is better than the thing you grew up with, and this is why. There's a bit of elitism to it. And yeah, well, Cross Wars Hunters, yeah, it combined the animes and brought in the anime multiverse. But I mean, we already knew from the V Tamer manga that the multiverse existed because Taichi in the V Tamer manga has crossed over with Daisuke from season 2, Takuya from Frontier. He's crossed over with Taichi from 2020. Hell, even the Cross Wars manga did some multiverse shenanigans toward the end. The Cross Wars manga even had multiverse shenanigans. But people who didn't watch Cross Wars, they go, well, Cross Wars is bad, but it was only good when they brought in all the old characters. Eh, I kind of I kind of groan when I hear that reasoning because that is just someone who just didn't watch it and they went, "Oh, there's my nostalgia. This is good. Feed me more, please." So, yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Well, look, on that note, um, I think we'll bring this to a close because we've talked about the episode previews coming up for episodes 40 through 42. We touched on the stuff for the vital braces and the DIM cards. Um, the evolution chains in like the start guide, the longer wrist strap that's coming out, the Pulsemon promo cards. We've touched on a lot. For my first go at doing the podcast live, I think we touched on quite the number of topics. And I've had a lot of bit of fun doing it. I don't want to end the show I don't want to end the show ragging on Adventure 2020 because that is what the main podcast is for. And Rio is from the multiverse. Yeah. I mean, Rio as a character, Meg, you might want to plug your ears because I know you're watching Tamers fresh at the moment. So I don't want to spoil you on something. So you might want to mute the chat for about 20 seconds. Like starting now. Mute the chat, Meg, or mute the audio. Um, Rio, yeah, I mean Rio started off in the Adventureverse, and then through some video games that the Western world never got to play, ended up in the Tamers universe and becomes a character there, and that's really fun. So I love that like Digimon is always messing with its own multiversal properties. Um, but yeah, no, it's just good general fun when it does it, and I do like seeing these characters come together and these what if Taichi teamed up with Masaru, or what if Eri and Sora got together, and no, granted, like Eri is from Applemon and that came after Cross Wars, so we're probably a ways off from seeing that happen. Um, but yeah, I don't want to I don't want to spend the last few moments of our first live edition of the podcast ragging on Adventure 2020. That's what the main podcast is for when I review the episodes week to week. So what I'll do, I'm gonna pull up YouTube, and I think we'll have a look at those. We'll have a look at the promotional videos for the DIM, for the vital bracelet, because I want to watch the second one again, and just sort of and take in the details a bit. And I kind of because we spent a lot of this podcast talking about the vital bracelet, so I think it's good just to show what they're doing with it and how much promotion is going into it, and what especially since when they've already said, we touched on earlier in the show, that they're going to have like the fifth of these videos out by August, when the newest when that set of DIM cards releases. So um, right. So that's episode 2. So where's episode 1? Um, there we are. Oh, that's so much handier. Okay. Okay. So we'll blow this up to full screen. And I'm going to turn the display capture back on, but I'll shrink it down a bit. Uh, oh, no, okay, now that blocks your guys' view of it, so okay, yeah, we'll pop it back up here, and I feel like I should have something over it though, just for reasons, like for copyright and such. So when it gets flagged, I can go, no, it's fair use. Oh yeah, Meg, the spoilers are over. There's probably some delay, but when I said 20 seconds, I genuinely meant 20 seconds. Um, Okay, yeah, that'll do. So so like this so these are the kind of videos they're putting out pushing the vital bracelet, right? Now, I swear to God, for the stuff that happens in these little clips, if mine doesn't do this, I'm going to be very upset. I'm being facetious, of course. But like check this out. It's working. Yeah, so I wonder, is it just something with those opening few moments that it can't keep up with for some reason? But yeah, no, like the delay is so far behind, I don't even know what I can do to fix that. So I am just letting the first video run again, just so I can see how that looks. Jeez, that is some delay. I actually think we're at about a minute and a half of a delay. That's wild. Okay, so alright, so I need to work on fixing that anyway. So is this thing going to teach me how to do parkour? Oh no, even the first one seems to be working properly. Cool. Alright. Right, let's not mess with a good thing. We'll just let it run. So the answer is Microsoft Edge. Who knew, huh? Who knew? I'm not a fan of the delay. Like that minute and a half delay though. I need to try and work on fixing that somehow. Hello, past blunter. Um, so I wonder, can we get... Man, if this works, I'm going to be so stoked. Put some shoes on, man. Nope. Oh, okay. So the opening segment is just choppy again. That's that's upsetting. Oh no, there we go. It's caught up. I'd have a better idea of how to fix it if it wasn't for the delay, but that's cool. At least it's running, so I can't. At least the plot element of it is working, right? Do love the animation. I want to punch fire rocks with my pet monster. Yeah, the little petite Miramon is just adorable. And then we're back to something coming through the rift. Is that a War Greymon, is it? Yeah, that's War Greymon. So evil War Greymon in season 3? Or in episode 3? That's okay. So that's enough of that. Okay. I think we've done what we can on that, and with varying levels of success or failure, depending on how you want to look at it. But at least Microsoft Edge was smoother about it than Chrome or even Opera, so I don't know what I need to do to look into that. Um, but this is the fun of live broadcasting, people. You know, you don't get the finagly bits of the editing room. So, oh look, I'm happy. Like they worked eventually, and like the overall idea was just show the budget that's going into the advertising for this for this glorified Fitbit. I do kind of love just I do love the effort that's going into it. Like I can't say that I don't, you know. Uh, but I do think like we've been running for 3 hours. I didn't expect that. You know, I guess when I don't have an episode to just be the sole focus of what we're talking about, and it's not just this is what happened on episode 40, and this is why it was good, and this is why it was not so good. I guess when you don't have something to focus on, and you're just sort of talking about random topics and such, it does extend things a bit. But we will leave it at that for now. I'm gonna go take a grand old stretch, and then I think we'll be back with Bravely Default later tonight. So tune in for that. At least we know that works. We don't have to worry about loading up web browsers for that. The Elgato was a good boy in that respect. So let's see. Our avatar isn't angry anymore. So let's yeah, give her a big old smile. It represents your channel perfectly. It kind of does, which is sad. And it's just why I'm trying to get new equipment as well, because you know, better equipment, things will run more smoothly. It's not as tangential. It's not as rambly. We can do what we need to do, or at least do what we need to do a bit more efficiently than what we're doing at the moment. So, like, I love what we're doing, and just hanging out with you guys. That's the part of this I like more than anything else. Technical issues or no, that some of you took time out of your day to hang out with me and
and struggle through those issues, it does mean a lot. So thank you as always. But yeah, no, we will wrap it up there. We'll be back with more Bravely Default tonight. We got the Dragoon class last night, and that looks really fun. So I want to start getting a character or two trained up on it. I don't know who yet, but we'll take a look at that when we get there. And yeah, just if you're watching this over on the YouTube archive, thank you very much for sticking it out for this long. It really is appreciated. For those who came in and watched the first uh, live edition of the Code podcast, thank you so much. It actually means a lot that that people turned up for this. I was very weary because a lot of my Digimon fan base is over on YouTube, and I was kind of weary that we wouldn't have a lot of follow over, but people turned up, and whether it's 5 of you or 50, I'm happy all the same. So thank you very much. Look after yourselves, guys. If you want to tune in for Bravely Default later on, that would be awesome. If not, no problem. Hopefully we'll see you back here. We're always streaming something. Bravely Default, Phoenix Wright, Resident Evil. We're always doing something. So hopefully there's something that you know perks your interests. Um, but cool. Right, so we'll leave it at that for now. Look after yourselves. Enjoy your day. It is Mother's Day, so go tell your mothers you love them, if you're able. And I'll chat to you all soon. Right, take care, all. Bye.